The thoughts are how you let it in. The thoughts are how you open your end of the valve to let it in. So the power is always flowing. So you don't have to prove worthiness in any way for the power to be flowing to you.
Right.
Because source is never closing or even tightening the valve, restricting in any way the power that is flowing to you. In fact, in very, very real terms, that power that is flowing to you is expanding and expanding and expanding, increasing and
Yeah,
increasing
so
and increasing.
I find that I can get more centered and get more calm and get more one thought at a time as I physically, let's just say physically relax. So that's interesting. Um, to then weigh that against, well, what about just choosing a thought that feels good? And I do some yoga, which is a physical, like a hatha yoga, breath and movement, because that helps center me. But that's okay, that's me. But I'm really intrigued about if I'm having a physical pain that is, I'm actually feeling it, and it's pressing, and it's sharp, and it's not pleasant. And can I can I think that away? I mean, that's interesting.
You will think it away. That's how it will soften and dissipate and release, and that you will find improvement. Somehow or another, you will shift from whatever thoughts invited that in the first place, and you will allow, by the thinking of your thoughts incrementally, thought by thought by thought, allow the power to flow back in. And then all of that which you experience as some sort of inhibitor or restrictor or blockage of the ease that you really are at the basis of your being will return to your physical human being. And so there is a process to all of it. So we've been playing with this idea a lot in conversations with friends, where things in your physical reality don't just poof in and out of existence, but they do drift in and out. And that's the process, because it would be so disorienting considering the orientation of physical reality, considering what is agreed upon by all of us, you included, in the creation and maintenance, you might say, of physical
Mhm.
reality. It would completely disorientate you and everything else if things just poofed in and out. So there is a process to
Ah,
all of it.
interesting.
There's a
Sure.
process to all of it. And can you speed up the process? Absolutely. It's not fixed. It's not even predetermined. Can you slow down the process? Absolutely. It works in both directions. You can speed it up or slow it down. And when you speed it up, friends who are not experiencing a clear understanding of all of this consider that miraculous, that a miracle has taken place. When you overnight heal something that's been going on for a long time, it's considered to be a miracle that has occurred. And we would say, well, what it really is just greater than usual allowing of power in
Wow.
in the face of a trending of restriction of power,
Right.
which we don't necessarily recommend that you practice what you would consider to be a bad habit for 20 minutes or 20 days or 20 years and then try to shift it overnight. We want you to be more experientially process oriented, where you can feel and have the experience thought by thought of little bit better, little bit better, little bit better, little bit better. I'm in pain right now, and I can still think thoughts while I'm experiencing physical pain that have me emotionally feeling a little bit better or a little bit less better. And it's entirely up to you to be the decider of what that experience is. This one experiences it a lot in terms of setting himself up for the day with thoughts, because he's gotten really, really good after years of wanting to and years of cozying up to the idea of it and having the experience of a little of it, lack of it, setting himself up for the day with meditation in the morning. So before he even gets out of bed, and this is fairly new, we'll throw him under the bus a little bit here because he's supposed to be all Gabriel all the time and everything. If you know him at all, you know that those Gabriel moments kind
Oh
of
God.
seem miraculous,
Right, right.
actually. And so for a few months now, every morning he's got a sort of ritual that he does to tune himself up, is what he calls it, to the point in time, in the minutes or hours of the morning, where he can feel it's flowing and I'm receiving. It's flowing to me and I'm aware of the flow of power because I'm receiving it. I feel really, really, really good. But then he has the free will, like you all do, to start thinking about something else and to immediately, even, it's not going to happen poof all at once from full tank to empty tank, but thought by thought, he can get himself in not very much time into a trend of thinking that we want to be kind and loving to all of you because we love you all so much and we consider ourselves to be very kind, that basically negates all of the powerful work that he did in the first 45 minutes of his morning. And now he's
Wow.
jumped on a trolley of
Right,
stress and
right,
fear and doubt and
right.
guilt and shame and
And
all.
it kind of snowballs once you get on that path. Yeah.
You're always going a direction. You're
Right.
either going with the expansion and the improvement, or you're kind
Oh.
of going the other way, and the
Oh.
expansion and the improvement are still taking place, and your source self is still becoming the expansion and the improvement instantaneously, but you're experiencing tension that always begins a little bit in your thoughts at the inception and then gets a little bigger, little bigger, little bigger. That's why we've been encouraging friends for so long to not put up with sloppy thinking and then think that they're going to have a good day in their timing or in their attraction from within the environment. Because when you go forward feeling a restriction of your power and decide you're going to somehow override the certainties of the universe and have a good feeling experience anyway, you just can't do it. The universe doesn't make those kinds of exceptions, not even for a mother or a teacher or a channel or anybody anywhere or anything anywhere.
Right.
So there aren't
Wow.
exceptions. So we want that to be so empowering for you to know that you are the creator of your experience, regardless of what we want for you. That's just the truth. You are the
Right.
creator of your experience. So whether
Right.
we think it's a good idea to tell you or not, we happen to think it's a very good idea to tell you and to help you acclimate to an
Right.
understanding of that. That is the truth. You are the powerful creator of your experience. You and you alone create your and only your experience. So, now that we've established some of that, there just have to be, because the universe can't make you the exception, even though you are adored by Source, but that's easy for Source because Source only adores at all. Source
Right.
only loves at all. So that doesn't even make you some kind of exception, like you won
Right.
the
Right.
Nobel Prize or something. It's just that you are adored, you are loved, you are supported, you are being streamed power in real time, all the time, expansively so at all times. Somewhere in the mix, there's got to be some thought that leads to another thought that leads maybe to the repetition of a thought that creates a belief or forms a strong opinion or a perception that then kind of pinches you off, pinches you off, pinches you off, pinches you off, to the point where then physically your body does you the favor of alerting you like a damned alarm. You're too pinched off for your own good. You can't proceed even in physical comfort now because you've been attempting to proceed in mental discomfort, saying, oh, it's fine. I'll just make up for it tomorrow morning when I do my meditation. We're laughing playfully here, but we're laughing at this one. We're not laughing at you. So even that kind of thinking sort of adds up and sort of gets to a threshold where it spills over into something that you can observe in a more tangible way, and then have an even stronger feeling response to that, which for this one and for you, we can feel a twinsy sort of situation here, usually feels like some amount of stress that you try to manage instead of releasing. Ooh, we really nailed it for this one. We don't know how you're doing with that, but
No, that's right. But this is the week of my one time a year annual studio recital.
and bring it
And
on. You've got all the excuses why this week matters more and why you should be able to withstand doing it this time around. We get it, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You've got it set up the way it is. You're absolutely right. We're not arguing with you at all about how valid your reasons are
no,
to
I
be.
get it.
It
Right. But
would, it would
I see the line,
There is just a logic to it, though,
right.
that this, especially now, especially as here's where we want to be going in these conversations that we're having about how this flow of power, this stream of power that is always coming to you is increasing and increasing and increasing. We want that to be the best reason for you, friends, to not try and do old things and think they will work. Not
And
try
not do
and
old things or think old thoughts.
that is one and the same. One and the same. This is an accelerated time in your physical experience. Why? Because you signed up for it, because you came here eagerly in this time of awakening that's been trending for a long, long time. You came here so eager and excited and expectant and designed to keep up with this. But so many aren't updating their settings along the way. They're saying things like, well, I don't understand why this is a problem now. I've thought this way for 30 years. And that's like saying, I don't understand why the shoes that I wore as a toddler don't fit. I'm only 18 years old.
Right.
Because you've grown is
Right.
why it's not working. Because you've grown, and that's a good thing. Because you've grown is why the tiny shoes don't fit. And so, what do you do now? Have one more thing to put on your list in the most
Right.
hectic week of your life? No,
Right.
no, no. Because you're absorbing this on levels that are even beyond your ability to comprehend. And we're being playful with you about it, and you're being playful in response. So
Mhm.
you can manage this stuff that you really want to release until you can give yourself permission to release it. But as soon as you can give yourself permission to release it, as soon as the calendar is clear enough,
Right.
it would be our encouragement that you find a way to release some of this. Release
Mhm.
what, you might ask in response? Well, release some of the expectation that you should be
Yeah.
able to do it all even when it doesn't
Right.
feel good enough to you to do it, and that you're going to besmirch your own reputation by dropping balls that you've agreed to catch and all of
Right.
this. And so
Right.
eventually, in the flow of drifting in, drifting out, you're going to find a way to drift your way into a
Ah,
whole new schematic of activity. And you don't have to do it in this conversation. You don't have to do it tonight. You don't have to do it before your big recital, which is logically important to you.
yeah.
But you do want to welcome in the idea that will serve you really well, that you can release even long practiced thinking that worked just fine when it worked just fine and clearly isn't working fine now because you're in pain and you love yourself enough to take responsibility for being the creator of your experience and not further shame yourself for creating something you don't want without meaning to.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
And that's really what it is. Those are such perfect words. You didn't mean to sleep funny on your neck. You didn't mean to get into physical pain. You didn't mean to have mental pain. You didn't mean
Right.
to be
Right.
stressed. That's not on your to-do list. Get stressed out. You don't have that written on your list after
Right.
meditating in the
Right.
morning, then get stressed and screw it all up. That's not on your list. You're doing it without realizing that you're doing it.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so, all that these conversations are ever really useful for doing is
Mhm.
helping friends understand what they're doing without meaning to do.
Right.
Because what you're doing, that you know you're doing, you don't need our help with that stuff. You don't need any help with that stuff. If you know you're doing it, and you're choosing to do it, knowing that you're doing it, that's clarity right
Right.
there.
Right.
And if it still doesn't feel good to you when you think you're somehow deserving of not feeling good, well, then you might need our help with some things. But you see what we're
Yeah.
getting at here. So, what do you do right now when there is pain and there is some pressure and it's exhibiting itself in multiple ways and you have deadlines that you
Mhm.
want to maintain and you don't want to do a complete 180. Now you just want to make
Right.
soft, subtle adjustments of
Mhm.
improvement.
Right.
Make soft, subtle adjustments of improvement and
Like that.
just start with your thinking. You know what?
Yeah.
Even if I am the creator of my reality, even if what Gabriel says is true, and I am the creator of my experience, and that I somehow attracted this discomfort into my experience with no clear conscious intention to do it, even if somehow something in the mix attracted it into my experience anyway. It's so nice to know this now, because I'm not intending to kill myself after the recital.
Right.
I'm intending to keep living. And so this knowing is going to come in useful again
Right,
and
right.
again. You've got lots of time
Mhm,
ahead of you to practice all of this. And
mhm.
even the aha moments, you're going to want to work those ahas in to the mix.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Nice. Yeah.
So you are doing so much that is working for you.
Mhm.
You're doing so much that is working for you. And when something like this shows up, we understand that that just makes it all the more annoying. I do
Mm.
my processes and I do my
Right,
meditating.
right,
I think
right.
good thoughts about everybody. I even try to forgive all the bastards that done me and my loved ones wrong. And I'm doing all the work and I wake up with a pain in my neck. Universe, did you go to sleep? And
Aw,
we
right.
say, the universe didn't go to sleep. You just have this brilliant, complex mind that is requiring of focus in order to thrive
Yeah,
while
yeah,
having.
interesting. Interesting.
And so you just want to keep up with that, is all. It's not wrong to lower your vibration without meaning to. It's just not what you want.
Right.
It's just not what you want. So just remember, it's all working out for you. Relax not only your body, but your thinking. The
Right.
best way to relax your body is by relaxing your thinking. Everything that you want to get done is going to get done in the way that will be of greatest benefit to you and to everyone else. You're
Right.
co-creating an experience with a lot of other people. Give them credit for being the creators of their experience. Give
Right.
you all credit for co-creating an experience together, that even though you have a very specific role as a sort of point of arrow in a lot of this, you're still not the sole creator or the puppet master of this
Right.
experience.
That's right.
Everyone is in on this together.
That's right.
Everyone has power flowing to them. Everybody can allow it or disallow it. Everything is going to move forward from this experience regardless of how it goes. And there's going to be opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to continue practicing all that matters to you.
Yeah.
So don't heap it all onto this, like this is worth risking your life and comfort for.
No, right, right,
It's
right.
just another choice that you're making.
Okay. Right. That's great.
Really good. We'll say one more thing here that we're getting from you. There's no limit to how much credit you're allowed to give yourself for being the brilliant being that you are. There's no limit to it. There's no taking more than your fair share.
Mm.
There's no limit to how in love with yourself you can fall and fall and fall and fall. We really encourage you to continue to raise the bar on how much power you feel you deserve to receive, because you can't take anybody else's,
Right.
and you've got the precise amount flowing to you to allow you to expand and expand and expand and expand comfortably, but enthusiastically, eternally. You are enthusiastically, continually, eternally, constantly loved.